Cliff Jumper. Commence countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The Transformers, more than meets the eye. The Transformers, more than meets the eye.
Hello and welcome to the 26th episode of Transformers ToyCast, which is now brought to you by BigBadToyStore.com. I am your host, TF2 and Mike, and I am joined by the goddamn Proto-Man. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, people?
Doing pretty good. Yes, we are now sponsored by BigBadToyStore.com, where, as of this recording, they are still running their Black Friday Cyber Monday sale, where you can save up to, or from 20 to 90% on over 1,000 items they have in stock. Some new arrivals that they have is Masterpiece Transformers MP01B Black Convoy. The ultimate Black Nemesis version of Prime is now in stock at $149.99. This version also includes a small bonus metal plaque and stand to display next to the figure. Pics of this will be added soon. If you enjoyed the MP01, keep your collection current with the latest Masterpiece figure. Twilight Barbie set single. Oh boy. We've received a shipment of Mattel's Pink Label Barbie Twilight figures. We've got Edward available singly at $25.99 and the set of Edward and Bella at $54.99. Don't miss out on these popular figures. RA-24 Buster Prime. This leader class size Prime is a Japanese exclusive. It comes with new and improved paint deco, lots of silver, chrome, and other touches to make it even more true to the movie. Limited stock available at $94.99. Masters of the Universe Classics Scareglow. Another great figure from the Mattel's Masters of the Universe Classics line. Scareglow is available now at $34.99, and we will also have most of the other figures in the series available at varying prices. Take a look here, and it gives a link. Star Wars, Clone Wars, Anakin and Ashoka Maquette's life-size Captain Rex monument. We've also received a number of exciting new Clone Wars statues. The Captain Rex life-size monument stands about 6 feet tall and is dressed in battle-damaged clone armor and makes a great gift for Star Wars collector at, $1,399.99. The Anakin and Ashoka maquettes are priced at $79.99 each and stand 9 inches tall, 9 inches and 7.25 inches tall, respectively. So you can head over to BigBadToyStore.com for all those new arrivals. They have dozens of pre-orders going up almost every day. They have new arrivals almost every day. Just a great, great website. Not just for Transformers toys, even though obviously we, the Transformers fans, would probably use them the most for that. So yes, what's been going on with you, sir?
Oh, well, I guess I could add one thing with that Pink Label Barbie set.
Yeah.
I will admit that I do own one Pink Label Barbie, but it's because of Speed Racer. They did a 2-pack for the movie, and my girlfriend picked it up for me because she thought it was cute. And it's not that bad looking, actually, I will admit. Although I didn't open it, it remains in the box, as it should. But, so, I guess they have a Twilight one now? No surprise there.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm not going to drag this topic into Twilight.
No.
So, TF-related wise, what did I pick up this week? We had a $15 Voyager special at Walmart and Toys R Us, so I picked up Voyager Megatron, which I didn't get a chance to from the Revenge of the Fallen line.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing special, that guy. Kind of interesting. A little too green for my taste, but still a not bad figure for $15.
Yes.
That's about it. I guess also I'll mention this now, which is news from our side of the border, which is related to TransformerCon. TransformerCon, which is Canada's 9th annual Transformer Collectors Convention, the second biggest in the world. We're having our we have our new convention for next year, and we have the dates now, which is going to be on July 16th, 17th, and 18th of 2010. It's going to be again at the beautiful Doubletree International Plaza Hotel, which is near the Toronto Airport. It's still on Dixon Street. It's in Toronto, Ontario, as we all know. And it's awesome. Again, come check it out, guys. We're going to have more info about the guests and the exclusives and everything that we're going to be having. Just go to tfcon.ca for more information as it comes.
Cool. Let's see, what have I been up to? Well, obviously the newly promoted BigBadToyStore.com sponsorship or partnership or whatever you want to call it. Actually, a lot of people are going to be shaking their heads. Wait, why is there a new episode of ToyCast? It's not 2010 yet. Because I was originally going to stop the show until the new year, just to give us a break on it. But with this new sponsorship deal, I figured, I better, get some episodes in with some of their stuff promoting some of the items that they've got coming up or coming out or just released or whatever. So that's why
holiday season.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. I'm sure you've seen it. There was a news item. I found it on Cybertron.com about somebody on eBay having the exclusive Mighty Mugs wave set available.
The new ones?
Yeah.
The Shockwave and everything?
Yeah.
I'd wait because they're gonna be pretty much everywhere the second those do release.
I know, it's too late.
Oh, it's over, the auction?
No. I mean, it got apparently whoever has they've got multiple items because after I checked it, after I committed to buy it now, it relisted. So apparently they have more than one set. So
what should you pay?
Total? You really want to know?
Yeah. Hey. It's coming from the guy who spent $300 on some figure.
Well, I've spent $300 on some figures. I think after the shipping, it's like $91.
Oh, that's not bad. Well, you have to realize something. In Canada, Mighty Mugs range between, I would say, $14 and $16 Canadian. And that's with the ugly packaging, too. We have the generic Optimus Prime packaging.
Right, yeah.
So, and to get those non-generic Optimus Prime packaging, we have to go to specialty stores that usually range between $20. So, I mean, how much is in the set? How many figures?
It's 4 figures. It's G1 Shockwave, G1 Jazz, Movie Prime, and Movie Bumblebee.
Well, so there you go. So
Which really, honestly, I was actually going to ask the seller if I could get, if at all possible, if he would break it up and give me 2 of each of G1 Jazz and G1 Shockwave. I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and commit to buy the set as it is. And what I'll do is I will eventually give the other 2 away as prizes for future contests. Because honestly, I don't, we've discussed this before. Movie aesthetic, it doesn't appeal to me. And the Mighty Mugs, you and I both said this, they're for collectors. And I'm sorry.
You hear that, listeners? Mike took one for the team, for you guys. So now you're going to have some free merchandise.
Yeah, exactly. And, and it's like, what the hell? I mean, why? You and I talked about this, I think, in episode 24. There's so many other molds or other designs that they can...
There's a lot that could be done with the Jazz mold.
Oh, yes.
I mean, look, if we could get Jazz from Bumblebee, I could see even Prowl, Cliff Jumper. I mean, there's the Blue Streak, Smokescreen. The list goes on and on. There's so much that could be done with just, like, quote, horned Transformers, if you will. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could even see a Sideswipe being done if the colors were done correctly.
Yeah, but it should be, hell, honestly, I would like to see Beast Machine's Mighty Mugs. I know that's probably never going to happen, but I would like to see it.
But yeah, I completely agree. But as I was going to say, what you paid is pretty much more or less right, at least on our side of the border, because I factor in $20 plus tax each, and if it's a set of 4, so that's $80 right there. I mean, it's more or less right.
Yeah.
And I mean, you really wanted that Shockwave anyway, so.
Oh yeah.
So again, if you really want it, who cares what the price is? That's how I am too. If I really want something, it's a blank check, so doesn't make a difference.
I mean, I still have the pre-order from BBTS that I made for the Shockwave, and of course I probably will cancel that once these come in. My only question is, I had to use my secondary eBay and PayPal account. Now my question is, have you ever used the eBay gift card?
Never. I've never had one.
You're no help. I'm trying to figure out, alright, if I have a PayPal account that none of my,
I assume that when you go to check out, there usually is a promotion code.
Right, there is, but my question is, okay, it says in order to use the eBay gift card, you have to have a PayPal account. My question is, does it matter or not if you have a zero balance in the PayPal account? I mean, technically, I already, once I go tomorrow morning to get the gift cards to pay for these items, because that's the only way I can pay for them at this time, I've already paid for the gift card amount. Whatever that is, $50, $60, $70, $80, whatever it is. I've already paid for that amount. So I'm hoping once I enter the card number and the coupon thing, it'll just say, oh, yeah, okay, cool. Your purchase is complete. But if it means that I have to have money in my PayPal account, that's not going to work because my main PayPal account is still in negative balance because of some stupid moron that I sold an iPhone to almost over a year ago now that got a chargeback on me and got me to have a negative balance, and I don't think I can pay that negative balance off because I won't have any extra money for the month of December. Which probably in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have bought the Mighty Mug set, but I would much rather get it mid-December rather than wait and see how much further back the pre-order at BBTS is going to be pushed back, because it was supposed to be out this month, which is still November, and now it's pushed back to mid-December, so I'm not really sure. Actually, we have General Techno is actually going to be joining us because he was eating dinner at the time, so here he is. All right. So, Techno, you there? There we go.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, you're late. We've already made the official announcement that ToyCast is now sponsored by BigBadToyStore.com, and in each episode I will be reading some copy of new stuff that they're either have arriving or pre-orders and stuff like that. Of course, that'll be at the beginning of the show, which we already did. So, I think we can just go straight into the toy discussion. I think I am going to go first. And I'm becoming a Mighty Mug collector. I love these things. They're just so great. And not just the Transformers ones either. I bought a Cobra Commander G.I. Joe Mighty Mug. And, we've talked before about the Mighty Mugs, on some of them, how detailed they are with the designs that are actually on the actual figure. The Cobra Commander one is very special and unique to where he actually comes with a detachable cape.
Is it cloth?
No, it's hard. It's semi.
Hard plastic. Okay.
Yeah. It's a hard plastic that actually attaches to his neck. And him without it looks cool. Him with it looks cool. And he comes with, I guess it's his classic rifle or gun or whatever. I don't know. I don't think the G.I. Joe figures really had classic guns like, Starscream has null rays. I don't think G.I. Joe ever had classic pistols or guns or whatever. But it's just really cool. I really like it. I'm actually probably going to be getting more Mighty Mugs from BBTS. I'm actually liking a lot of the ones that they did from Marvel, or the ones that they have from when Marvel did their Mighty Mugs runs. Yeah, but I mean, this guy's pretty cool. It's a nice addition to the collection. Overall, really not that much to say about him. I mean, he's basically, his colors are, there's some like gold and silver, black, red, and of course blue. The cape is actually in two colors. On the back, as you have it on him, it is like the same blue that he is, and on the underside of it, it is like a dark orangish red. Just really cool. He comes in his classic Sunbow series GI Joe silver mask. I can pretty. If the Mighty Mugs talked, I could see Chris Latta's voice coming out of this. I just could. I don't know.
You recommend it?
Sorry. I was confused by the Skype window thing there. Yeah, I would. I actually picked him up at BigBadToyStore.com for. Actually, I picked up two of them. One of them is for a Christmas present for a friend of mine. I would recommend him. I think individually, if you just buy one of these guys at BBTS, mint in box over there, I think he's $9.09, not including the shipping price. Not really. I mean, I don't know what the shipping is afterwards, but under $10 for a Mighty Mug, that's pretty rare.
Pretty good deal.
Yes, very much so. So I guess, Techno, are you ready?
Yeah, good timing actually. The phone had just rang after we started, so that I just got back. I guess I'll ask a quick question. Do you guys want to hear Transformers or something else for a change?
It doesn't matter as long as it's a toy. Because I think, honestly, that with the fact that BBTS is now sponsoring us, I may actually cut this back to just ToyCast in general, so it could
okay.
It could be from any line, I guess. I don't know. I'm still debating on that, but whatever.
Okay. Well, I'm going to just do a quick pick here then. I guess that I'll step outside my mold a bit, and I'll do why not a G.I. Joe figure for a change?
Okay.
I'm going to grab the, this is being talked about a lot on, TFW's podcast, for instance, this figure.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the Rex the Dr. Lewis figure from the G.I. Joe toy line.
That's from the movie line, right?
Yes, from the movie toy line. AKA I think it's safe to say spoilers now that the movie's actually out on DVD, don't you? That he's actually becomes Cobra Commander at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Now, as far as accessories go, the movie G.I. Joes have all been really good for accessories. He comes with a gun, a briefcase with some little nanogel capsules in them. He's got a wig and the breathing mask, as well as a cloak. The wig just comes off really easily. You need to take the head off to get the breathing mask off. And he comes with these cool little metal gauntlet things that snap over his arms. And overall, really, he's a very cool-looking figure. One thing that say what you want about the G.I. Joe movie, but the toy line is incredibly well done. They just keep outdoing. Hasbro's going to eventually reach a point where they're not going to be able to do much in terms of innovation, because I don't see it's going to be very hard for them to innovate even further with the 3 3/4 inch figures.
Mm.
They're easily the best company when it comes to doing them. They've got the most experience, best posability out there, and if they run into a problem, I think it's that they're going to sooner or later they're not going to be able to keep topping themselves.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't know. I think I'm just stuck in my whole Mighty Mugs phase thing. I don't know. I just there really isn't outside of some Transformers lines. There really isn't any toy line out there now that I want to collect.
Fair enough.
I've gone back and I've looked at the Masters of the Universe, the original Masters of the Universe stuff, and I would like to have those again, but again, astronomical prices on eBay and stuff is pretty much the only way you're going to find original stuff.
You could always get that new Battle Damage He-Man that Mattel's doing, where rather than have the Battle Damage gimmick, they decided to make it chest plates instead that look like the Battle Damage gimmick.
Yeah. I mean, they do have the Classics line coming out, which is great, but
isn't that online only though?
I don't know.
because they've been their Masters of the Universe stuff so far. As far as I know, it's all been online. But yeah, getting back to Hasbro's offerings and stuff. I mean, with the G.I. Joe figures, what suckered me in was the 25th line, simply because I was seeing so many pictures of these awesome figures and stuff that were all ridiculously posable.
Mm.
And that got me interested in wanting some of these figures. So I first got suckered in that way, and before you know it, it's easy to amass stuff, especially once you start thinking about it and going, it'd be really nice if I had some more troops to round out my army. And you get into a trend where you have to buy at least doubles of every troop just so that you have just generic soldiers.
Yeah.
And you get some things where, like, for instance, how I've got a few guys that I've got 4 of each, and then I've got some guys I've got like 2 of each, and I've got a whole ton of different Cobra Commanders. Like the Doctor's one, I've got the movie figure Cobra Commander as well, but I think the Doctor as a figure looks a lot cooler.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, there's one thing that's being done on the the message boards and such that people have done, where they've noticed that if you take off the jacket, the breathing mask, the helmet, and then you give him the Pit Commando's gas mask, apparently he's a very dead ringer to Psycho Mantis from the Metal Gear Solid games.
Yeah,
he's got the right kind of outfit, and then you just give him the mask, and it's basically a Psycho Mantis mask.
Yeah, when because recently, I originally said that I would never pay to see the G.I. Joe film. And technically that's true. I had a free code from Redbox. So I got it from Redbox, I don't know, like 1 in the morning, and I watched it. Without going into how I feel about the film, I did, now that you mentioned that, I did get a Psycho Mantis vibe off of before he became, the giant ugly fucking mask, when he was just the regular Doctor part. I did get I almost said Cobra.
I honestly like the character far better before he became Cobra, without the Cobra Commander look. Yeah. I think that, honestly, looking back, it might have been better. I kind of get it story-wise, but it might have been better if, in fact, he wasn't Cobra Commander, but just another. He was like one of the more memorable characters in the movie, the Doctor, and then they go and turn him into Cobra Commander at the very end, when they could have kept the Doctor as like a top Cobra associate scheming with his own, and then do a Cobra Commander reveal at the end anyway.
Yeah,
that was
the facility.
That was something too that kind of threw me off with the movie, because he was an interesting character, and I saw him as a new character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when they made him Cobra Commander, I was like, that kind of sucks. That's kind of like if in Revenge of the Fallen, Scalpel really turned out to be like Perceptor or something.
Scalpel turned out to be the Fallen.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a better example. Yeah, that's just it. It's like, it was an interesting character, and it's like, oh, hey, it's Cobra Commander. Wow, all right.
Well, I kind of, and I mean, we're kind of going off on a tangent, which is fine, but I kind of like the role reversal, because throughout the entire movie you have the quote unquote future Destro character being nothing but this anal retentive jackass to the Doctor, and then at the end the tables have turned. I kind of like that, but my main complaint with the Cobra Commander take in the film is just the mask and just the overall look of the character. It's not what I remember Cobra Commander to be.
Yes, it looked a lot better on screen than I thought it was going to be perfectly fair. But I mean, looking back, even when you think about it, the whole fact that he becomes Cobra Commander, now that I'm actually thinking about it, it doesn't mesh with his established character at all, because he's established as an amoral scientist. He's a scientist who doesn't care what has to be done, but he seems more interested in his research than world domination.
That's where it kind of threw me off too.
Yeah.
But even still, he was, considering the fact that I'd heard the actor who was playing him, and it seemed like a bit of a question mark. I think that for what he got in terms of the role, I think he nailed the role that he got. Say what you want about the script, but for what he was given, he just absolutely blew it out of the park. Just from when you've got the flashbacks version of him to the modern-day raspy voiced version, he did a very good job with his voice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And just adding that level of creepiness and menace and utter despicableness to him. It was the right voice for a Cobra Commander.
Yeah.
Until he put the mask on and it deepened.
Yeah, that was the other issue. So would you recommend the Doctor figure, or Rex the Doctor, or whatever the hell he's called?
Oh yes, I hear he's tricky to find. Hopefully he's reached saturation more so now throughout the area, but he's a great figure, and I was glad to get him. Next big one I'm waiting for in the line is the City Strike Snake Eyes, but in other words, the G.I. Joe Resolute one. But
Right.
yeah, he's a good figure. I would recommend him.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back. We are back to ToyCast. I'm your host, TFD and Mike, and last but not least today is the goddamn Proto Man. Before you start, would you like to tell everybody what happened to one of your online accounts over the weekend?
Oh, you're talking about my Twitter?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's really funny about that too is because usually on weekends I'm nowhere near a computer. I'm actually out racing, although that's going to slowly come to a wind when winter comes around. So I was nowhere near it. I think what triggered it, and I hope no New Moon listeners are listening to this, but I made a pretty out loud and vulgar remark about New Moon shattering all the records for 2009 movies and, of course, destroying Revenge of the Fallen's hard work, as well as any other movie, Dark Knight, whether it be, And oddly enough, after I made those comments, the weekend came. Then I got a slew of private messages and emails from various sources, whether it be Lupus Convoy or Vangelis or anyone from the boards, telling me that my Twitter account was hacked. And now I was advertising, I didn't really take a good look at it, Taco Bell?
Yeah, you were.
I kind of deleted it all, but I took a quick look. One guy told me something about an iPod also, but it just seemed like I just started randomly spamming iPod and Taco Bell ads. So someone hacked me and started using it to promote that kind of stuff. So a big thanks to the entire Transformer fandom for scrambling to let me know when I wasn't near a computer and trying their best to contact me.
I don't know if it was New Moon necessarily related, because someone else on my Twitter feed actually got their account hacked just a couple days ago as well, and they changed their password.
It's when people have a lot of subscribers, they seem to target those people. I don't know why.
Oh, I was going to guess that it's people that have Windows computers.
Yeah.
I mean, I do as well, but I mean, there's friends of mine who've had their MSN accounts compromised because they somehow got a keylogger on their computer and it captured all their passwords.
Really?
Yeah. All you need is
I think they should have
running in the background.
They should have went for something else instead of just my Twitter.
Oh boy.
I'm just saying that, yeah. And then, of course, there might be those sites where they ask to use your account information for all you know. Those sites where you can do polls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For all I know, some of those are have data mining spy bots on them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, for the record, none of the Geekcast radio shows or the Geekcast radio network, we do not support or sponsor any part of fucking Twilight. Sorry about your luck. Twilight sucks. If I want a real vampire, I'm going to watch Angel. Period. End of story.
I'm going to quote Stephen King on this one after he saw Twilight. When he saw Twilight, he turned to the camera and he said, I remember in my days, when vampires were in the daytime, they didn't sparkle, they exploded.
Exactly.
And you know what? That sums it up right there.
And as far as the Twitter hacking and MSN hacking and just people getting hacked in general, I'm going to quote one of Jeff Dunham's puppets, Melvin the Superhero. It's the terrorists, I tell you. So what are you going to be talking about, Proto Man?
Well, in good faith of our new sponsor, Big Bad Toy Store, I'm going to actually be talking about one of the figures they have right up on pre-order right now that I managed to pick up at retail. It's the Astro Boy line based on the new movie that came out of the same name, Astro Boy, that I actually enjoyed quite a bit. There wasn't a lot of press behind this movie, but if you do get a chance to see it, go see it. It's a very dark movie. I know that sounds crazy. It's a very dark movie. It's very well done. A lot of people who actually have seen it that are like reputable critics, they have said that this movie is along those lines of The Incredibles and Toy Story. It's a very unexpectedly good movie.
Mm-hmm.
And so the figure that I picked up is from the 6-inch line of Series 1. You can pre-order it on Big Bad Toy Store right now, the whole set. I picked up the original Astro Boy with the light-up core. Did you want to say something, Techno?
Oh, I just wanted to comment that, that's a movie it's on my list, I guess, of things I'd eventually like to see. I can see it being dark simply because I've read a bunch of the translated Astro Boy manga, and there's some pretty dark elements to his origin story.
Yeah, it's very true to the source material. There's little deviations here and there, obviously.
Oh, yeah, you're going to have that. Like he wears a shirt, for instance.
Yeah, well, that's just it. They didn't want to have him the whole movie topless. So, there is little deviations here and there for modernization. But in general, it's very true to the material. It's very enjoyable. And, I was quite surprised when I went to see it, and even my girlfriend was getting into the movie. Like, she was actually laughing and enjoying it, where, to me, I almost felt it would have been just one of those movies that I kind of dragged her along, and she just had to sit through it. But it was actually a very enjoyable movie, like thumbs up, bring the whole family, everyone's going to laugh and love it, Anyways, getting back to the figure I picked up, which is, it's the Astro Boy light-up core, that's what it's called. It's done in the classic Astro Boy design. These are done by Jazzware, which are known for the Mega Man line of figures, which are also 6-inch. And I also picked this up because they are in scale with those Mega Man figures. And anyone who knows Mega Man knows that Astro Boy was kind of what Mega Man was deviated from, along with Speed Racer and Cyborg 009. Mm-hmm. So, the beauty with these figures is they look very nice next to the Mega Man ones, and they are to scale, and they're fairly articulated considering the price point and what they are. They're very nice figures. The whole gimmick with the 6-inch line is that they all have some kind of light-up gimmick. And with the classic Astro Boy, he has, you open up his chest and his core lights up. And let me tell you something, I have a lot of light-up action figures, whether it be Transformers or G.I. Joe's Mega Man. And this is, without a doubt, the brightest light-up figure I have ever owned in my entire life. I don't know what, if they're using an LED or something. This thing is bright. Very bright. To the point that it's almost blinding. To the point that I could use that instead of my cell phone at night to, light my way to the bathroom.
I was gonna say, it's basically a giant flashlight.
Yeah, it's very bright for a small little 6-inch figure. Even if you press the button without the chest being opened up, his entire torso lights up. It's an amazingly bright figure. Detail wise, it's very true to Astro Boy. What they did for this Americanized movie, if you want to call it that, they shrunk his eyes down slightly, just so they're not 100% humongous. Eyes that are very typical of the original 50s, 40s manga and anime. But it's still very true to the original. The underwear's still there, the boots are still there. Everything, the hair, it looks great, the articulation is great. Other figures within this line, they have the one where now he's clothed in more of a civilian clothing wear and he has his Rockets boots. They have the Peacemaker, who's the rival villain in the series, and then they have the Samurai, which was one of the grunts in the series. But they're all very well put together figures. I did not expect these to be of good quality. No offense to Jazzware, but they kind of had a weird hit-or-miss track record when it came to quality of these figures. But these Astro Boy ones, they actually went a little bit above and beyond and put some really nice stuff together. I mean, they're very, even the head is on a ball joint. They're very well articulated. They're simple. Astro Boy is a very simple design, and so it's not very difficult to make it look good. But at the same time, they were able to pull it off. I give it a heavy suggestion. If you're a Mega Man fan, pick it up just for the sake of history. If you're an Astro Boy fan, you have to pick these up because these are some of the nicest Astro Boy figures to come out of anywhere in a long time. Just get them because, it's a piece of history. Who knows when we'll see Astro Boy ever again in the American audience.
Yes. Question: how does his chest open?
It's just a simple flap, like it's just like a door, if you will. But what they did, they made it nice, like it's a nail. You have to like stick your nail into it. It's not just like a indentation that you could just pull out or something.
Mm-hmm.
They make it try to look like it's like flat to the body,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And then when you open it up, it actually shows like an internal, like, because there's a core, because he has this core that powers him. So they actually put some details inside the chest. And when you press it, you get this absolutely blinding blue LED light, which shines right through the detailing of the core and everything. It's a very nice looking figure.
Why is the death of Optimus Prime popping into my head when I hear you describe that?
Yeah, because you're probably picturing the Matrix. That's
Exactly. I mean, if you think of it, that's why I asked you, how does his chest open? Because if his chest opens like out and then up, that's exactly how Prime's did open.
Well, to be fair, the concept of the opening chest with power core in the center did originate from Astro Boy and later on other mecha series. And even then, Mega Man used that in the mangas in 1985, done by a guy named Ariga, who was a manga designer, which also gave Mega Man a very similar design in the chest, where his chest opened up, where he would put the chips of every time he beat a Robot Master to gain their powers. So there's a little trivia right there. So it all predates Mr. Matrix.
Yeah, so I know.
As much as I'd hate to say it.
Yeah, but it goes back even further when you consider the fact that the reason they do the chest thing is because traditionally the heart is seen as the center of the life for the human body. Even though that's not necessarily biologically accurate, historically the heart was always seen as the soul.
Well, true. But just, I don't know, being the G1 fan that I am.
Like Transformers on the brain.
Exactly.
One thing I'll say with Jazzwares, how's the quality control on the figures? Just wondering.
See, that's just it. I was not expecting, like when I picked up this figure, I was expecting it to, with very low expectations, because I own the entire line of Mega Man figures from Jazzware, regardless of quality or not. I own all the repaints, all the recasts, and a lot of them I was really not happy with. A lot of times plastic quality was very weak. Paint jobs were sloppy. They would include accessories that were really just didn't need to be there, to the point where I felt like they almost hindered the toy, that they could have used, get rid of that accessory, put, that 10 cents more of plastic into the paint job. But these, they're flawless. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but they're absolutely flawless. They act like there's no paint problems at all. I mean, again, when you do anime eyes, that's like 3 layers of painting you got to do there. You have to do the retina, the actual eye color, the little dot that represents an anime eye. They did those perfectly on every Astro Boy figure. Where with the Mega Man ones, they couldn't even get simple, like 2 dots in the center of the eye. Right, it would look cross-eyed almost with some of them. So, I mean, thank goodness Proto Man, he wears shades, so he didn't suffer from that.
Well, one thing I know is that just from Jazzwares, I've gotten some of their stuff recently. I've been getting the 3-inch Sonic figures as these have come out, being a big Sonic fan, and I have to say, like 3 3.75 inches is my sweet spot in terms of what I buy, because of the fact that that's pretty much in scale with Hasbro's stuff. But
yes.
I've been pleasantly impressed with just the posability on these guys.
Yeah,
that's one
thing. Like, I guess they're finally learning from their mistakes. Now their figures are focusing on paint job quality and articulation, which I guess with the Sonic figures, did you pick up with the Sonic figures the 200th issue 2-pack?
Yes, yeah, I already had the comic, but I picked up the 2-pack anyway. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting though, because I mean the Knuckles and Tails are easily the best figures that are out in Canada so far. The Sonic mold, though, it's interesting, though, they're still learning with these, and that the problem with figures like Sonic is that, well, his current Sega design makes his head incredibly back-heavy, and his feet aren't very tall, and they're a bit curved, and he's got no real heels, so he doesn't stand very well at all. You have to lean him forward to stand him.
Well, the problem with Sonic, he has limbs that are like sticks too, so that doesn't really help.
The limbs are really posable though. So the limbs are, if anything, they're a bit bulkier than they should be. But
Okay.
like, say with Tails, for instance, his tails act as a bit of a stand because they just sit on the ground, and Knuckles doesn't have has much bigger shoes, so he doesn't have any problem standing either. But like, just testament to their learning stuff is that the guy who does the designer for the Sonic figures, he's posted on some message boards here and there, and he said that, yeah, we know the first wave wasn't that great, and with wave 2 onwards, they're going to be having stands with the figures.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay. Well, yeah,
plus,
see, it's interesting. They do. It seems like they have good feedback with people because same thing with the Mega Man community. They have aired with the complaints that they've gotten, and they are learning from because you know what, they're a new company. They started, I believe, about 5-6 years ago. I believe they started with Mega Man and what was the other line that they had at the time that they were doing?
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember. Oh, Street Fighter. Street Fighter was the other one that they had. You know, they had the 2 Capcom properties, and they ended up losing the Capcom property because of just bad quality, because their stands would break when you would peg the figures into them.
Mm-hmm.
They lost a lot of points. There, a lot of figures came loose, right out of the package. So they learned their lesson. When you lose a property like Street Fighter,
Yeah.
Wow,
So-
yeah. But then they managed to get the Sonic property, evidently. And the thing, although this is just tangential, so I won't go into it, but really when it comes down to Sonic licenses, it strikes me that nowadays the biggest problem with the Sonic with licensed stuff for Sonic stuff isn't the licensors, it's Sega, because the licensors might have ideas they want to do, like, I mean, the people who do these things, like, I remember reading BioWare had fans of the Archie comic, like Jazzwares had fans of it and stuff, but they can't use them because Sega won't let them use them, even though they're right license-wise and stuff. Sega owns all these characters, but they don't want to let them use any of them.
Yep.
Which is dumb because Sega's losing money.
Sega's been losing money for years.
Well, all right, we're not going to get into that.
Yeah, that's
All
a
right.
whole other topic.
That's a whole other topic for a completely different show. But I mean, honestly, seriously, anytime that you don't license out your characters, all right, take Hasbro for example. In the 25 years that Transformers has been around, they'll license their stuff out or they'll do it themselves, obviously, because Hasbro is a toy company. But
Look at the dry area. Beast Wars wasn't Hasbro initially; it was Kenner. So think about that.
Yeah, but Hasbro eventually took over Kenner.
Yeah, no, but the point being is that even during a time where their line was really iffy, when they were coming off of G2 and sales weren't that hot, they said, we still got to keep Transformers out there. Let's get Kenner to do our Beast Wars line.
Exactly. So, but the point
better to
is,
get out product than to have nothing at all.
Exactly. That's the whole point. Oh yeah, you're talking about your Sonic figures. I mentioned to you on Twitter, why is Mighty Mug Starscream holding Tails hostage?
Oh yeah, that's just because the way I had it posed, that I just happen to have Tails in front of Starscream. Although, honestly, the best pairing, though, with the figures is pairing up Tails with the reissue Perceptor in its tank mode. I have dubbed, if people have seen this on Twitter, I have dubbed this the Science Tank. And I have Tails riding a Perceptor in tank mode.
Very cool.
Which is interesting, because G1 Perceptor actually had a tank mode.
Yeah, I know, the reissue does, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I could never get past, and this is mainly in the cartoon, how the hell is a microscope going to become a friggin' gun? There were in two different episodes of G1, in two different scenes, Perceptor uses his microscope, telescope, whatever you want to call it, as a gun to either shoot at Decepticons or shoot something into space.
Same question could be asked, how is Reflector even useful?
Spying.
Well, spying. I mean, it's...
Plus expendable bodies.
Exactly.
Evidently, he can regenerate at least one of his component parts, given one got shoved through a space bridge to oblivion.
Yeah, seriously. He's a one-man army.
Alright, so I think we're going to close this out. Thank you for joining us here on Transformers ToyCast. There are several ways to get in contact with us to leave feedback for the show. First is you can visit www.geekcastradio.com and find all the other GCRN podcasts there. The second is you can stop by our brand new forums, PredaconEmpire.com/Nexus, and get all your GCRN Transformers discussion topics there. The third is you can leave the show feedback on iTunes. Please do this. The fourth is you can visit another great geek culture website, www.earth-2.net forums. You can find our threads for the shows in the self-promotion section. And the fifth is the email address, which is tftoycast@gmail.com. We now have a voicemail line. Call us and leave us your thoughts on each episode. Be sure to say which show you're leaving the message for and your name. The number is 502-526-5821. You can follow us on Twitter. The show name there is TFToycast. Mine is TFG and Mike. And Techno, what is your Twitter?
General Techno.
And Protoman?
Protoman X.
Yes, curse that bastard that stole Protoman from you.
Yep.
Yes. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Transformers ToyCast and wish you'll join us next time. Be sure to visit our new sponsor, Big Bad Toy Store, www.bigbadtoystore.com, for all your Transformers and other toy-related needs and more. For now, I am TFG and Mike with General Techno and the goddamn Protoman saying in the immortal words of, not Optimus. Let's see, what do I have here?
Autobots, transform and roll out!
Just as good a leader.
You screwed that up. Let's try that again.
Autobots, transform and roll out!
Thank you for listening. Until next time.
There once was a boy, an albino I'm told, who possessed the power of pen-pusher gold. He had many stories, all short and exciting, but nobody knew, and so he began writing. He sat there all summer and skillfully sought to perfectly ponder and polish each plot. The settings were set, all the characters cast, his fingers were flying and flailing so fast, and soon the young man with the snowy complexion quickly concocted the caffeine collection. He smiled, satisfied with his clever creation. Oh, the things that did pour from his imagination. Stories of pirates and future police, of devils and bullies, and a twist press release. Fantasy, mystery, both are included. Comedy, action, no genre excluded. You say to yourself, it's too good to be true, but author Steve Saylor would not lie to you. An audiobook so you don't have to read. And hey, $15 is all that you need.
From the author of the podcast novel Black Shadow, Steve Saylor presents The Caffeine Collection, a dynamic audiobook collection of short stories presented by ringtonefeeder.com and stevesaylor.net. Steve presents a genre mashup of multiple stories for your ears.
I have to be on caffeine to write all this.
Steve Saylor presents The Caffeine Collection, on sale October 28th, 2009.
So mark this date down so you will not forget. For more information, stevesaylor.net.
Thanksgiving is just 1 week away and Christmas is right around the corner. Are you looking for a gift for family members and friends that is slightly not the average gift? Well, look no further. I am TF2 and Mike from the Geekcast Radio Network, and besides podcasting, I am also a published author of poetry. I have 3 books of poetry published and 1 for sale right now. It is The Twists of Faith and Fate. This is an 85-page softcover book. It comes signed and only costs $20 per copy. I have 20 or more copies available. For more details, email me at tfg1podcast@gmail.com.